Do you ever get the feeling that you're just going through the motions, stuck in a dead-end job that leaves you unfulfilled and wondering if there's more to life than this? Where that nagging doubt in the back of your mind telling you that you're not living up to your true potential, but you just can't seem to break free from the fear of self-doubt that's holding you back? Well, by failing to confront these limiting beliefs head on, you risk never experiencing the pure joy and satisfaction of living a life you've always dreamed of, and on your own terms. But what if I told you that's a way to shatter these chains and start living a life that you truly deserve? And in this episode of Daily Masonic Progress, we're going to cover the secret to overcoming the fear of never reaching your potential. We're going to learn how to tap into your own unique strengths and values and use them as a foundation for unshakable self-worth. We'll also explore the power of embracing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. Plus, at the end, I'll reveal the number one way to stay motivated and on track, even when life throws you some curveballs. But first, we need to find the key to unlocking your full potential and breaking free from the fear of these unfulfilled dreams. Now, Freemasonry holds that key, and it's hidden within the powerful phrase, "has made such progress as he hopes will recommend him to be advanced." But here's the thing. By truly not understanding the profound lesson behind these words, you may be holding yourself back from experiencing the deep and unshakable confidence that comes from knowing that you're living a life true to yourself. Now, I know what you might be thinking. It's easy to blame external forces for the lack of progress, imagining some mysterious group of people actively deciding to hold us back out of spite or cruelty. But when we fail to realize that their decisions serve their own needs, rather than targeting us specifically, we risk falling into the trap of feeling like helpless victims, powerless to change any of our circumstances. So picture this. You're about to go into a job interview, and there's a literal group of people sitting around a table, looking at your photo and deciding upon your fate. It's a scary thought, right? But the truth is, we often take that image and apply it to every situation in life, thinking that these people are making an active decision to hold us, specifically us, back. We convince ourselves that they're doing it out of some perverse, twisted pleasure. But here's the reality check we all need. It's not about us, it's about them and their own needs. When we've made such progress means we've met particular standards or requirements for said progress. So it's tempting to think that we automatically then deserve advancement. But when we get caught up in that mindset, we start doubting ourselves, wondering if we've done enough and even if we're good enough. Our self-esteem takes a huge hit. And after being passed over time and time again, we start to believe that we just don't measure up to someone else's expectations. But here's the truth. This is nothing more than an overemphasis on external validation. You don't need anyone else's approval or constant praise to recognize the inherent value of your own progress and growth. And that's where the phrase, hopes of recommendation, is here to teach us a vital lesson in humility. By not allowing hope to act as a temper of our expectations and ground us in a best case scenario, we risk being consumed by the belief that we deserve that advancement, and we set ourselves up for a world of disappointment when things don't go our way. And yes, by all means, we hope that our progress has made us worthy of advancement, but hope itself adds a layer of uncertainty and aspiration. It's there to remind us that while we are striving for recognition and success, the outcome is ultimately out of our control. But don't let that discourage you. Hope should also fuel our sincere desire and drive for advancement, pushing us forward while keeping us grounded in humility. Our hope for advancement comes from the recommendation of our progress thus far. And when we fail to recognize that our entire journey, from the very beginning to where we stand today, is the foundation of what recommends us for further growth, we risk undervaluing our own development and selling ourselves short. But here's the beautiful thing about humility. It's reinforced through our hope of advancement being based on the recommendation of our progress. And when we truly grasp that our journey itself is what propels us forward, we can start to see our growth in a whole new light. You see, the word recommend here is a powerful reminder to separate ourselves from the outcome and to embrace humility and acknowledge that the result is absolutely outside of our control. But when we don't detach ourselves from the end goal and approach our journey with humility, we risk missing out on the true lesson. That the journey itself is where the magic happens. And that's where we can then tap into our own strengths and values and build an unshakable sense of self-worth that can weather any storm. You see, the point of this recommendation is that it still implies an external decision, something completely beyond our influence. Having the word recommend in the phrase is a gentle nudge to step back from the outcome and to focus on the process. It ties back to the notion that when we think we deserve advancement, but it's really the recommendation that is enforcing the importance of humility and accepting that the outcome is not ours to control. And when we embrace this mindset, when we separate ourselves from the end result and approach the journey with that humble heart, well, that's when the real transformation begins, and we start to recognize that the true lesson lies in the journey itself. And that's where we discover those unique strengths and values that form the bedrock of that unshakable self-worth. And the beautiful thing is it's about progress, not about perfection. You see, the meaning behind this entire phrase is simple yet profound. Acknowledge and celebrate your forward movement and growth. Recognize that you've acquired new knowledge and developed new skills and grown as an individual, because that's all part of the continuous journey of life. And when we fail to see that, well, the true mark of readiness for advancement is the ability to embrace setbacks as further opportunities for growth. Otherwise, we risk selling ourselves short. You see, we have to consider that setbacks aren't roadblocks. They're stepping stones to building the emotional resilience and navigating challenges with grace. When we cling to the need for reassurance or guarantees, we risk being paralyzed by the fear of the unknown. And these setbacks are gifts in disguise. They help us cultivate resilience and face the challenges with that shifted outlook. And it frees us from the need for constant reassurance, and it allows us to open up to a world of possibilities when we're armed with openness, curiosity, and trust in the journey of life. But how do you stay motivated when life throws you those curveballs? Well, let's return to the core lesson. Has made such progress as he hopes will recommend him to be advanced? You see, personal growth and progress are inherently valuable, but our achievements alone don't guarantee advancement. There will always be uncertainty and external influences, no matter how much progress we make. So relying on our achievements can lead to disappointment when our efforts don't yield the desired results. But here's the secret. By embracing personal growth and cultivating adaptability and resilience, we create that foundation for future opportunities, even in the face of uncertainty. Failing to acknowledge that many things are out of our control holds us back from exploring alternative paths, and recognizing the value of growth and building a flexible mindset allows us to set ourselves up for a future with endless possibilities. But in the end, no matter how much we grow and how much we achieve, one thing remains. We can only hope that it leads to more progress, except the choice, ultimately, it's not ours to make.
This has been the Daily Masonic Progress Podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you follow us on Spotify or subscribe on Apple Podcasts. The Daily Masonic Progress Podcast is available on all streaming platforms with new episodes every week.